Hey everyone, and welcome to my November wrap-up video. The first book I read this month was War Doctor by David Nott, and it was brilliant. No, that's so awkward. No, that's so awkward. The first book I read this month was War Doctor by David Nott, and it was amazing. So this was actually my October poll winner, but I didn't finish it until the first few days of November, and it was brilliant. David Nott is a trauma surgeon in conflict zones, and it's basically his memoir about his experiences of doing that and his life. And then in more recent years, he's done training programs for other conflict zone doctors and surgeons. And yeah, he's just a fantastic, brilliant man with a very, very generous and caring soul. And it was just a really, really, really great and heartwarming read, and obviously pretty relevant with what's going on in the world at the moment. Yeah, it was just fantastic. Highly, highly, highly recommend War Doctor by David Nott. Next, I read Do Walk by Libby Delaney. This is a really, really short read about Libby Delaney's experience of, basically she's gone for a walk every single day for the past 10 years, and she thinks it's absolutely healing, and so she's talking about how and why she thinks that and how and why we should be doing it. And it's like interspersed with photography, which I presume from her own walks, although I couldn't find anything to confirm or deny that, but little just snippets. Really, really short read, food for thought, and it did make me actually go for a walk. And also I combined it with a new journaling technique that I've been wanting to try for months. So although I haven't taken from it and gone for a walk every single day, I did take something from it, and it reminded me of how healing it can be to just, I don't know, like do self-help in your own way that works for you. This month I finally finished the audiobook Girlhood by Melissa Febos, which I started back at the end of August. I kind of soft DNF'd it halfway through the month or midway through, and then ended up picking it back up. But oh my god, I forgot. 4.5 stars. I think I gave this like 3.75/4. And then Girlhood, I kind of went for a 2.75. Like, it was fine. It's all about her experience, Melissa Febos's experience of growing up as a girl and then being a woman, and how she's just been sexualized for her whole life, basically. And so in parts it was really relatable, in other parts for me it wasn't, but I just found it it's not like the most exciting topic to talk about because of the content, but I didn't find it that engaging to listen to either. It was narrated by the author herself, but yeah, like it was fine, but it wasn't anything special for me. And then I read another audiobook novella which I absolutely hated, which was called Say Yes by Elle Kennedy, narrated by Stella Bloom. It was just so bad, so bad. So first of all, I did not like the narration. She did different voices for the different characters, but the voices were horrible and like very just weird. I felt it was only an hour and a half, so I just listened to it anyway, but otherwise I definitely would have DNF'd. I felt really uncomfortable listening to the sex scenes, but that's on me because I knew there was sex going into it and I probably wasn't going to like it, but I thought I'd give it a go. But yeah, she just, first of all, the main character was so judgmental about the guy's name. So he's called Dirk, and she just nasty about his name being Dirk, but like repetitively kept going on and on and on and on and on. And then basically she just wanted sex, he wanted a relationship, and she continuously told him no, and he would not give up, which was very infuriating to me. I think she probably did want him, it definitely came across that way, but she wasn't ready to admit it. So in my opinion, she is not emotionally available enough to be in a relationship, and regardless of whether or not he thinks she actually means it, he should respect her no. So I really didn't like that. And yeah, I mean, the twist was really obvious from the moment the rehearsal dinner started. So yeah, I just was not a fan of that. Say Yes by Elle Kennedy, not for me. Next, I read Blue Ticket by Sophie Mackintosh. Really enjoyed this. 4 stars I think I gave it. 3.75, maybe 4. Really nice short chapters, which I appreciated. It's kind of a dystopia, feminine rage kind of a book. To me, it kind of felt like Luster, Supper Club, what else did I think? Leicester, Supper Club, Handmaid's Tale, I'm a Fan kind of vibe. Yeah, really enjoyed it, but I was so sad at the end. It broke my heart at the end. Very, very, very sad, but really enjoyed and lots to think about. Basically, it's about when every girl gets their first bleed, they have to go into this like ticket booth and they either get a white ticket or a blue ticket, and white means you become a mother and have a family, blue gives you freedom. But basically, she's not happy with the ticket she gets. And so she's kind of trying to deal with that, come to terms with it, and you follow her story as she does that. But yeah, really, really enjoyed it. Then we had a curveball. Something that I was expecting to really, really not like, and ended up giving like 4.5 stars, 4.25 it might have been, The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. So earlier this year I read Paper Towns, which I gave like 2 stars, and then I tried to read Looking for Alaska and I absolutely hated it. DNF'd it like 60 pages in. Was not expecting to absolutely love this, be sobbing on the sofa. Just thought it was so lovely and heartwarming. There were a couple of bits that I was like, ugh. But on the whole, I really, 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 really enjoyed this, and I was not expecting to. I then watched the film, which I have watched before. I'd never read the book before, I don't think. The film I did not like as much as the book, but the book, I loved it. So I read this for my TBR jar prompt for the month, was to read a book Loz left behind when she moved out, and the books that she left behind were like teenagery ones that she wasn't that interested in keeping, so that's why I have this. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I'm actually going to keep it, which I thought I would be getting rid of it straight away after I read it. But no, this will be staying on my shelves. And then finally, I read Homegoing by Yaa Gyasi, which again, I really enjoyed. I think this was another 3.75/4 star read. It follows 2 sisters who, born in Ghana, who didn't know that they were sisters, but basically one gets sold into slavery and the other one ends up marrying a British officer who runs the slave trade in Ghana. So 2 very, very, very different life experiences, and it follows both of their family trees down the generations and how that's kind of the impact that it has on the future generation. And it was really, really, really good. It was very well crafted. So each chapter is actually about a different character, which sounds really daunting, but it flowed so well. It made perfect sense. There were a couple of moments I had to go back and look at the family tree, but on the whole, I would just keep reading and then it would be like, oh, that's who that is, and then it would make sense. Yeah, and I really enjoyed this. So I'm just going to do a little bit of this. Oh. Okay, and that's that. Thank you so much for watching. Merry Christmas and see you next time.